So, Leicester Tigers vs Leinster. Every commentator's worst nightmare. The two teams with such similar names, but how big a game could this be? Not just for our Champions Cup campaign. Obviously, we need, 2 points to confirm our advantage into the knockout stages. I think other results have to go quite weird if we do get knocked out, but how big could this game be for our whole season? If we can somehow pull out a victory, the momentum, just what that could give to this team, I think we could go really far with a win. But it's going to be, super, super difficult. Just going on to those permutations. So 2 points confirms our knockout stages presence. But even if we do lose, the only way we can get knocked out is if Sale get a win against La Rochelle and La Rochelle pick up a losing bonus point and a try scoring bonus point. I can't see Sale beating La Rochelle in any scenario, so I'd say we are pretty much through. Unfortunately, I don't think even a win would get us a home round of 16. I believe that Stad have just given up in the competition, obviously, because they're out. So I believe Stormers have gone for a strong side. So I don't think there's any way of us overtaking them. So really, it's a win to avoid potentially avoid Leinster in the round of 16. But yeah, this is absolutely massive. Full house, not beating Leinster since 2008. This is absolutely huge, especially off the back of last week. There'll be a lot of disappointing in the camp. They'll be wanting to respond quickly. Let's get on to the teams. So Tigers team, I think we've made 10 changes all in all. Backline of Stewart, Simmons, Scott, Kelly, Hassel-Collins, Pollard, Whiteley. Obviously brilliant to see Ollie Hassel-Collins back in. Don't think we've seen him in over a month now. Not too sure if it was what sort of injury it was, but going to be brilliant to see him and back. The return of Kelly Scott, the centre partnership that brought us so much joy over these last few years. Obviously Kata has been phenomenal these last few weeks, been one of our standout players. But the balance that Kelly and Scott have, especially up against a side like Leinster, who run some unbelievable lines, we need their defensive prowess between the two of them. And good to see Whiteley given the start. I think he's been superb. Obviously at the start of the season it looked almost like Powell was going to be our number one until the internationals come back, but look at him now. You could almost say he's number one even with Young's back. Going to be great to see him out there. Into the pack, Cronin, Montoya, Hayes, Wells, Chesham, Liebenberg, Reffel, Visa. Obviously a shame that we haven't got Martin. Obviously picks up another knee injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but Wells and Chesham are an outstanding combo, and brilliant to see my favourite Henry Liebenberg back out there. I think Rogerson has done very well in his absence, but Liebenberg just brings that experience, just an all-round quality player, always 8 out of 10 performances. We've missed him a lot. Going to be great in the line out as well. That's going to be a key aspect to the game. Brilliant to see Hanro back, and Tommy Reffel. I feel like we really missed him last week. We didn't really have a breakdown threat apart from Montoya. He's going to be absolutely key in trying to slow their ball down, because once they get going you can't stop them. Pretty solid pack. Onto the bench, Vaines, Van Veek, Hurd, Carter, Hatherall, Young, Shilcock, Catter. I think the only surprise for me is no Dan Cole. Wonder if he is injured or if this is just tactical. Obviously gone for Will Hurd, who obviously off the back of a brilliant call up to the Scotland squad in the week. But maybe I'm being optimistic, but I feel like a scrum we can maybe get the edge. It's not something that they're decent at it, of course, but some international teams have found out the likes of Porter, but Will Hurd has been sturdy throughout this season so far, deserves that call up, and I really like having Catter off the bench, give him 20-30 minutes and just bring all out chaos. Going to be great to see him, and also great to see Archie Vaines back, obviously being injured after his exploits in Paris. But it's the strongest team we can put out at the moment. Obviously injuries are telling, but it's still one heck of a team. Bags of experience, bags of big game experience, the likes of Pollard, Stewart, Visa. Yeah, it's a team that could do something special. That's until you look at the Leinster team, or should I say the Ireland team. Yeah, if we really have to go through it. So backline: Keenan, Lama, Ringrose, Henshaw, Lowe, Byrne, Gibson Park. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Basically the Ireland backline, barring the 10 jersey. Yeah, what is much more to say? Ringrose, Henshaw, probably best set in the partnership in world rugby. Gibson Park has gone from a decent 9 to one of the best in the world. Keenan, best fullback in the world. Obviously the only positive we have going from last year's match against them is they don't have Sexton. Obviously Byrne is a great player, but still someone that's learning his trade. Maybe something we can have the edge over, maybe, if we're hopeful. Otherwise it's an unbelievable back line. Into the pack: Porter, Sheehan, Furlong, McCarthy, Ryan, Baird, Van der Vlier, Doris. Again, just unbelievable pack. Basically the Ireland set up. As I already said, Porter sometimes can get a little bit caught out in the scrums. Furlong as well, brilliant ball in hand, but scrum time sometimes can get a bit found out. Something we can hope on. Otherwise, just, yeah, power, pace, line out threats. Yeah, it's scary. It's one scary team on paper. Onto the bench: Kelleher, Healy, Aluatoa, Maloney, Conan, McGrath, Prendergast, O'Brien. Yeah, it's a serious 23, isn't it? There's no point really picking out any star names because we all know how bloody good they are. I think it's 13 played in that quarterfinal against New Zealand a few months back. I believe, was it 15 players of this 23 are in the Ireland setup for the Six Nations. Yeah, it's going to be not too far off what England face in a few weeks in the Six Nations. It's just an unbelievable team. Just brilliant combinations. There's not much more else to say. Like, they are just an absolutely unbelievable team. Up there with the best team in the world. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. So, prediction time. Head says it could be a long afternoon. It could be similar to last week, but my heart just have this sneaky suspicion we could take it by 3. Don't know where that's come from, because looking on paper, they have a far better team. They're on form. They're just unbelievable. But I just feel like we have this performance in us that could really test them. We've got to be absolutely perfect game. Best 80 minutes we've played in a good few years. Just got to be kicking everything perfect. I think kick heavy game. Set piece has got to be dominant. We've got to take every single one of those chances. We can't have these fumbles in the 22. Our red zone efficiency has got to be the best it's been all season. But we could sneak it. I feel like having Andre Pollard with his boot, just taking anything at goal. Yeah, this is the exact game that Pollard will relish. Brings out the best in him these big occasions. Same with Visa. We have brilliant players. Yeah, my heart says we can sneak this by 3, which would be one of the best victories we've had in a good few years. But it's going to be super tough. But at home, I think it's a sellout. It's going to be an absolute unbelievable atmosphere, because Leinster have brought a lot as well. I think that brings the best out of the home crowd when you've got something to compete against. Can't wait for it. This afternoon is going to be absolutely huge in what happens for the rest of our season. Bring it on.